So first I say some prayers to invoke auspiciousness. They are in Sanskrit language. We have both Sanskrit language and the Bengali language. That we have the bhajans in, the songs, the books, the Sanskrit verses, the Bengali verses. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyanam-gyana Salakaya Sakshu Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavarinaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuse Namaha Panchakalpatarupascha Kripasinubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So the first prayer is a prayer to the Guru who has opened our eyes which are born in ignorance with transcendental knowledge. So with transcendental knowledge we can transcend this atmosphere where we are in. And the second prayer is the prayer to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most munificent, most merciful incarnation of the Lord, most merciful avatar, and who's giving this knowledge of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that you have experienced already a little bit of the peacefulness that it gives, also that the mind can be concentrated on the highest focus, on the highest verse that the Lord, the Godhead, has given for this Kali Yuga. This Kali Yuga where everything is so flimsy and so fluctuation is all the time happening. Like also the youth of this age, they all the time want quick and as much gratification, like following up, quick. It's not like, like being patient. It has to be quick and a lot and now and all that. So we learn by this Maha Mantra, calm the whole mental system down, eventually dissolve the whole mental system. Dissolving in a way that dissolving it for material purpose, not dissolving the mind and the senses and the intelligence for service. Not that. We need that, but for service. So we need that shift from being a selfish person, selfish human being, to a selfless human being. Then we can calm down the whole mental system and we live with the Lord as our intimate and best friend. And we search for Him. Reading the books is, Srila Govinda Maharaj says also, it's not only when we begin, in the middle and in the end, we search, who is Krishna? What is my situation? And when we have taste for reading, we will become so happy, because instead of looking at movies all the time and feeling a bit what do we feel? Feel like we have to fill in some time when we are alone by ourselves. We have to fill in some time. And when we get taste for reading the books, we know that it's much more interesting, the books and the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, the pastimes of Krishna, Radha and Krishna, than anything that we can get in movies or literature, anything in the material world. The books very important. More important is service, giving of yourself. Because even by giving of yourself, you can get that juice of that the Lord is satisfied with you, that the Lord is present in your life. He will give notification of that. That is by service. Like when we see Gopal is all the time busy from early morning. He's at Mangalarti. We appreciate so much Gopal, and all the time he is humble, even though sometimes things are difficult to understand. He's going through it. He in a humble mood, and that is the most important qualification of a human being, and especially for a devotee, to be humble. And not too much listening what is negativity. That is bringing us. We need things that uplift us all the time. We need things to uplift us, not things that can bring us down. Not things that you feel it's not conducive for spiritual life. And that is that. And okay, any questions about that? Okay, we start. Very beautiful book, Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 1, by Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti, Rakak, Śrīdhar Swāmī Maharaj. And this is a foreword of Srila Govinda Maharaj. Very beautiful. We are insignificant souls attempting to fly across the infinite sky. Like fledglings. Fledglings is like small ducks, like small birds. We are like that, trying to get a connection with the Lord, trying to get going, hearing all these wonderful pastimes, but we are very insignificant. With so much desire, but practically no capacity. Seeing the great, valiant devotees like Garuda effortlessly soaring over forests, mountains, rivers, seas, and oceans, we may realize that we are but neophytes, fledglings of finite capacity. So, realizing our insignificance, but by imbibing that and asking the grace of the Lord, then we become very great, very great by the influence of the Lord. But first, we have to clean the slate. Do you understand that, John? We have so many things from lifetime that have perked us up like we are so important and we are winners and we deserve it and you need to do that, otherwise you cannot stand in your life. It's something different to be humble as having a personality. But we want to build up from scratch, from a clean slate, that nothing lingers on, that we have from other lifetimes, that we have some opinion and that we build up from our personality, but our golden personality, our real personality, not built up from our false ego. And that is what we are doing. It's not easy to say, okay, my Lord, here I am. I'm insignificant. I need your help, And I'm very grateful for what I have already. I'm grateful I have a body that is healthy. I have a mind that can think. We never think about it, but look around. That's not just normal. That is a grace to be thankful for. That we have food, wonderful food always in the temple, a bed to sleep in, wonderful surrounding. That's not always available in every human form. Look in the world, that we can practice Krishna consciousness.
Not also, take it for granted.
Not taken for granted, yeah. So, gratefulness early in the morning, late at night, in the middle of the day, that's very good to get our humility prone in our life. Humility will always give us tolerance also, and give honor to others, not expecting any honor for yourself. Then the Lord can come. The Lord cannot come if we are full of ourselves, if we have things in ourselves. The Lord wants to come full on if we are clean, if we want Him in our life. We tell Him, I need you so much because I'm very poor and low. I need you so much. Please come. And then He has to see that we chant. I saw you chanting on Saturday. Mother Krishna was chanting. Everybody was busy with her. And she was sitting here and chanting. Very nice. Very important. Very necessary for all of us. To chant the holy name. And giving our life for service. What can I do? How can I be of service? Okay, then I go to that word. Homeward journey from Srila Gurmas. Any experience about the Lord must come from upper to lower. So not that we fabricate something in our mind or in our intelligence. It does not depend on us. We can only increase the intensity of our hankering, of our serving attitude. And whether He will descend to this plane or not depends on His whim. There is transcendental substance. He moves according to His sweet will. He may come down or He may not. At His will, He is free. We can only increase our earnestness for His presence. Although the potency and the potent are inseparably connected, we must generally know ourselves to be of the marginal potency. Marginal potency, we explained Saturday, like marginal potency is like this, we have the sea and we have the shore, the beach. There where the sea goes towards the land, towards the sand, there is an area where is watery sand. That is who we are. We are half material and half spiritual. Marginal. It's like marginal. He is everywhere. He is nowhere. Everything is within Him. Nothing is in Him. What Gurmas means here is, if we are conscious about the Lord everywhere, then He is not nowhere. Then He's all the time with us. But He is nowhere when we lose our attention, when we lose our focus. So He's everywhere, in the material world also, He's everywhere. And He can be nowhere if we are captivated by our mind, by our senses, by our activities, then we don't feel Him so much, because then our ego takes over. But if we always in that in that state of wanting to think about him via the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is, for example, a vehicle to all the time, also without the beats, all the time recitating the holy names of the Lord. That is very good. That is a good practice. Or in other ways, the service, the concentration to do something nice, cooking for the Lord, cleaning for the Lord, to have all the time the presence of the Lord in our presence, in our heart, in the environment, in the devotees, in the non-devotees. That is the practice, to see the Lord everywhere. And then we feel him everywhere. Because if the devotee doesn't feel the Lord, and then he feels sad, feels empty, he feels then not fulfilled. Such is his peculiar and mystic position. Thus our duty is to try to serve him. We should not put much emphasis on feeling him, either by mind, by body, or even by intelligence. He is everywhere and he is nowhere. In a flash, he may show, yes, I'm here. Yet, when we are earnestly searching for him, he may be nowhere to be found. His nature is independent. We can search, but we cannot say that we shall find him. Our duty is to devote ourselves 10% and most intensely for him. We are only to serve him, and service does not mean that we must necessarily come into direct contact with him. Remote service is also service. Through his devotee, it becomes tangible. We should try to serve him through his devotees without expecting of any reward. We should have no desire except to serve, even without expecting to see him once, to have his darshan. We shall only want to be utilized by him. The little energy we have must be utilized for his cause. We are his potency, and we should prove that we belong to him. Mahaprabhu says, you know who's Mahaprabhu, John? Mahaprabhu? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu means master, like controller of the senses, actually means Prabhu. We call the devotee male Prabhu, like the master, like the controller of the senses. And Mahaprabhu, Maha means like the Maha mantra. Maha means great, ultimate, biggest. Mahaprabhu says, he means Krishna. He may embrace me or reject me, or he may even be indifferent towards me. Whatever he likes, he may do, but I have no alternative but to serve him. He will always be the Lord of my life, the love of my life. It means like, sometimes we see in the material world, people have faith, they pray to God, like, please give me this, please give me a good wife, please give me this job, please let my children pass through their examens, please give good fortune to my children. And then something happens, they don't get a job, or they get fired, or marriage doesn't turn out to be so good. Then they lose their faith, and with their faith they give up the trust, the faith in the Lord. For devotee not. The devotee knows, I'm very in need of the Lord, I'm very fallen, many things can happen, it's my karma. I accept my karma as it is. I'm going through my karma, and I still think about things that are very good in my life. And one thing that is most very good in my life is that Krishna consciousness came in my life. That my guru gave me Krishna consciousness. And that I have the association of the devotees to help me, in my journey. So we will never give up the association of the devotees, and never give up, most important, the relationship with the Lord. Whatever happens, He knows best, He knows better than me. Wherever I have to go through, He knows that I have to go through. He is there. And if I do it good, without negativity, more grace will come in my life. Then He will be really very pleased with us. If He doesn't want to reciprocate with me according to my will, I won't like to approach Him, so I shall join the atheists or the Mayavadis. Mayavadis, John, that are the impersonalists. The Mayavadis are what is very rampant now, very, very trendy now, to be a Mayavadi, to be an impersonalist. Yes, there is God, but I'm God. That is a Mayavadi conception. An impersonal conception is wrong. Then you renounce the world, you have a lot of knowledge about the Vedas, and maybe you get liberation from the material world. You can go into some slumber of impersonal conception with the soul, but then you have to go down again into the material world, because there's nothing without Krishna. Krishna is the origin of everything. He's the original, and yes, He's a person. A beautiful, transcendental, bluish color, like playing his flute, always very lovely and wonderful to all living entities, actually. Even though here in the material world it's a bit harder to see, because we have to go through many trials and tribulations, which are good for us, because we cannot go with big ego into higher levels of consciousness. We have to once and for all get this ego out. That's why so many helpful things, maybe not understandable right away, but they're all good for purification. And you are fortunate that already you say, well, maybe I cannot understand, but I feel there's something purifying. There's something purifying from the holy name, purifying in a clean atmosphere, that we are sitting here, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, like we are sitting here humbly in front of the Lord, and hearing about pastimes of Him, and hearing about how we can be purified, and smelling the smell of the offering to the Lord. So all this is fortunate, because it's contrary what everybody else does. Very happy to have you here, John.
Thank you.
Okay, Saraswati, we shall stop here for today. Okay, Jai. Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Homeward Journey, Ki Jai. Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Rakak Śrīdhar Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Haraya Nama 60. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govindaram Sri Madhusudan.
Gopala Govindaram Sri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadara Sivasari Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raguna. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raguna. Echai Kosai Kori Charana Vanda.
Echai Kosai Kori Charana Vanda.
Jai Te Vignana Savishta Puram. Echai Kosai Jamui Taradas. Dansavara Pararenu Mora Panchakas. Dandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanebas. Janame Janame Mora Jaya Sapai Karsi Si Guru Kuranga Sundar Radha Kiridaya Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Rakak Sila Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Rupa Nuka Guruvaka Ki Jai. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Sila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sapashali Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sapashali Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakunda Radhakunda Kiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Purushottama Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Ganga Yamuna Chu Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat London Chapter Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All glories to the world devotees Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Kolkartas Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari.